Hey boys, girls, and squirrels, my name is Modstab, but welcome back to Satisfactory. Now, we are eating berries on the beach, baby. So, before I turn around, I want you guys to know I have made zero progress without you guys being on camera, but I have become slightly obsessed with this game and the fact that I want to try to optimize how production works and how to continue building into production in the future. I have not progressed further without you guys, but there are a few things I do want to show off and show you, and then we're going to go ahead and build some more power because power, baby. So long story short, please don't be alarmed, but before I continue, remember to like, comment, and share this with all your friends and family because it's a great way for you to let me know what you like, didn't like, and what you want to see next. If you guys do want to kind of support this channel financially, there is a donate button in the description. However, I digress, but let's please... Huh! Oh, you don't see anything fancy, huh? Nothing fancy? All right. Okay, so what we did off camera... Can I jump up here on this side? Come on, baby. Yeah. We went ahead and tried to optimize it. And so what we did is we know that these guys can move at 100, because these are all pure veins. So the Mark 1s can do 120 resources per minute. These guys consume 30 resources per minute. So 3, 6, 9, 12. And so what we did is we split this off so that this is supplying 4 smelters. And all of those smelters are going down on Mark 2 belts to, well... The beautiful place in the sky. What's in you? A bunch of wire? Ooh, baby, we're gonna have to figure out how we're gonna use all this stuff. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Got biomass that we'll probably just dunk in the place with the things and stuff. But we did that with the limestone. We did that with every single iron deposit we have here. So we have 1, 2, and then we're gonna have a 3rd iron deposit right here. And so we have 4 smelters for every single iron kind of deposit that we have. We also have this 4 smelters over here by the 2 separate iron deposits, which I'm going to show you guys. All right. And then we have every single one of these going up on Mark II belts and Mark II lifts, as we want to make sure that we get the most out of our production as possible. Now, we're starting to get to the spot where now that I have everything upgraded to Mark II belts, which just takes time. It just takes time, and that's part of the reason I didn't want to bring you on here. But I figured while I was waiting for all that to kind of craft, why not go ahead and do a huge level of organization? Now, this is going to be the entryway. We do have a ladder that goes up just for convenience, if that's what we need to do. But we have this as the entryway, and I decided to use like a fancy like lift system as kind of the quote-unquote doorway. We just put a bunch of materials on here just for aesthetic purposes. Most of these are tier 1, so they really do not matter. They don't matter as far as progression is concerned, and we craft so many of these that just the handful that we used on this is not a big deal. I just thought it was a really cool aesthetic piece. We do have these guys here functioning as windows because I just think it looks really nice. And then we're going to get up to the top, and we finished it all off with another one of those lift systems. I got to get a drink real quick. All right. I've been doing a lot of talking the last couple days. My voice is parched. Okay, but we have another one of these lift systems. It's pretty open and expansive. Look at this. There's nothing here. I'm sorry. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. So we have buffers for everything, and so we'll keep that in mind here. But we have buffers for everything. We have a bunch of the concrete because we are going to have to expand that. We moved our hub up here. Oh, wait. Were we looking into something? Oh, yeah, we found a purple power slug while we were adventuring. I mean, I didn't want to look at the analysis until we got you guys here.
The crystals on this slug can be harvested and converted into 5 power shards that function with current fix-it technology. Several buildings would be capable of performing over 100% capacity if infused. The derived blueprint is now accessible in Hub Tier 3.
This isn't a sad face because that's a bad thing. It's a sad face because I had to use that power slug to research it, and there was 5 power cells. 5. Let's go look down here. 5 power cells. Okay. Either way, I digress. Let's show off the cool stuff because that's kind of a bummer that you had to use the purple power slug, but that's okay. So what I did was I had the copper and all of the, 6 iron? Well, we have 3 here, so it's 5 iron. So I had all 5 iron coming up here. No, 5, 6, 7, no, 4, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. Yeah, so we have 5 iron coming up here. And what we decided to do was make what's called a bus. Now, I did take this inspiration from Factorio, which is a game that my friend had me play a couple weeks ago. And this was basically the best way to make your equipment travel around so you could automate production. The only catch is in Factorio, they have little arms that'll kind of swing over, grab, and then swing it over, and you can actually skip over other belts if you have the extended arms. This one, not so much. You have to use the splitters. At least for now, you have to use the splitters. And so you have to kind of bring them down and around, and it gets a little bit messy. However, if you do this right, you can keep a giant bus, and we're going to go to the end here. All right. You can keep a giant bus here where you can have different things. And all of these except for this top, all the iron except for the top middle are using about half of what their yield is capable of. And so we should have a large portion of things taken care of. And we might want to automate more screws. I know I have, we'll go ahead and start at the beginning now that I showed you how the bus works. We do have a lot of automation started on the tier 1 products, and we just maximized their potential, right? I figured 4 is a pretty solid number. So on this side, we have a bunch of these going into iron plates. And by a bunch, I mean we have 2 of them going into iron plates. And then we have a alternate screw that we found from that hard drive that we picked up in the last episode, or the episode before. I don't remember. But we had alternate screws where we could use just straight iron ingots. And it's just as effective as using the rods, iron rods. So it eliminates one set of machines that I have to have. And so I have 2 doing iron plates, 2 over here doing screws. Ooh. I did take off the iron plates here, so we might actually be hurting a little bit for iron plate production. We may be, because I need 62. So it's, okay, so I need 62. And that is 100 and, what's that, 124? So we need 125 iron production. I don't think that's where we're at right now. Yeah, we got 60. We have 60. That's actually not that good. Is there another recipe for iron plates? No. So I may have to take one of these guys and turn it back into the iron. Okay, we're gonna actually turn this guy off. I'm gonna grab this out of here. We're gonna let all the screws go out of this one. And we're gonna try to... Oh, that's a bummer. Because we're waiting on iron right now. Oh, that's right, because I have... I didn't think about that one very well, did I? Because I forgot that I had iron feeding 3 machines, not just 2. So what I need to do is have this guy here do a bunch. I suppose, you know what, we could probably just take this out. And we'll let those screws... Yeah, we'll go ahead and just put a bunch of them in here. Oh, I guess... No, we don't even have them full. So we're going to go ahead and switch this guy back to iron rods. Or iron plates, excuse me. Alright. Perfect. So now we can take this guy off of standby. And how many plates is that going to be? That's 3. Alright. 15. So that's 60. That's 60 per minute, but that's not enough to feed... That's not enough to feed all 3 of these. Dang, that kind of sucks, actually. Yeah, because we have 60 on this one. We're going to have to try to overclock stuff. For now, we're not going to have the most efficient stuff. We might go on a slug hunt and things like that. A little awkward. I was just going to show you guys how efficient it was. And I just switched these to screws before because I thought it'd be a really cool idea. That screws are where we're lacking. So I thought that's what we needed. But I kind of messed up our iron production. Oh, well. So anyways, we had that feeding over here because we have these guys automating the reinforced iron plates. As you can see here. Now, it's not working super efficiently because I messed up our iron, but whatever. It is what it is. So we have that here. And then if we go just down this way, we actually have a bunch of iron rods, and we have two of these guys making screws as well, because we need as many screws as possible. And once again, we have these buffers, so that way as things continue to fill, we continue to get value out of them. We don't use a whole lot for iron rods, so maybe I should go ahead and take one of these and turn it in. Or I should take all of those and turn those into screw productions using just iron. But before I do that, we'll go ahead and show you the copper production as well, which we have, once again, 4 different constructors or smelters and constructors set it up so that we make copper wire. And we have buffer here, and we actually have that feeding out to 2 separate units that are making regular wire. And we have this as a buffer as well. At least for now, I don't really see us using copper wire for much else than just power line, quite honestly. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to rethink this a little bit, because we have this as the iron buffer here, right? Why did I do 2 again? I do not remember. Oh, yeah, that's because I wanted 1 to... Okay, I get it. We're going to go ahead and put this guy on standby. We're going to take the power sources out, right? All right. And so what my thought process is here is, first and foremost, we turn these guys on standby as well. We don't want them to be crafting anything. We want them to send things forward. We'll turn this on until we get all the iron rods out of the way. Perfect. And I won't keep you on for this whole thing, but I just want to kind of show you what my thought process was behind this build. Oh, why did I turn it on standby? I need to make sure it crafts everything. All right. We're going to wait for this to craft everything, and then we're going to get rid of it. And then we're actually probably going to get rid of this one as well. Perfect. So what we're going to do here, because we need to get rid of 2 of these. All right. Because we only need 1 set of constructors instead of 2. All right. And that does also make it so we can be a little bit more efficient with the screw production as well. Because I'm thinking what we probably could try to do here is we could go to the 2 constructors, right? Let's get these guys in here. I want it to be even with this. So we can get 1. And that'll be the screw buffer. We could do a second one. Probably even go ahead and do a 3rd one, right? Yeah, we could do a 3rd one. We can fit it in here. Let's see. What we may want to do is... Let's figure this out. So we're going to have to figure out a better way to reorganize this. And this is going to be a cool way to kind of show you guys what I was thinking here. Let's go ahead and... It's logistics. So we want a splitter, but we want it to set up like this. I think we can make this work here. Yes, perfect. So we can bring that here. Bring that here. And then we should be able to bring these 2 over. Boom. All right. Now, before I turn these on, I do want to go ahead and get the... we're going to have you go straight into here as a buffer. We're going to set up a merger. All right. We want it to go straight off of this guy here. So we're going to take this guy. Perfect. And what I might end up doing, now that I have this set up like this, I may end up... Yeah, I think that'll do the trick. I may end up taking it so that 2 screws are coming off of this into there rather than 2 screws off of this production, because it's going to be a little bit more efficient. But now that we have that taken care of, we have everything linked up as needed. I just need to provide power. Okay. We're going to need another power line here. Perfect. Okay, so we should have all of these powered on. And we're going to go to the alternate. Now, the alternate screw pattern starts at 80. I want to see what this is. Or 90, excuse me. So they actually start at the same level. The only difference is it's not quite as efficient because you're technically using 2 bars instead, or 2 ingots instead of one ingot because one rod, but you're eliminating the amount of space it's going to take to do so. So I think that is much good. There we go. And now we kind of have everything kind of started back up and running. It's getting a buffer. We're going to go ahead and reorganize this as well. How are we doing on the iron plates department now? We're still a little bit behind on the iron plates. And we're not really building up much of a buffer either. So, I don't want to split it off 3 ways. I'm definitely comfortable doing like a 2-way splitter here. So what we're going to do is, for now, we're going to get rid of this. We're just going to jam those screws in here. Oh, we got like 400? Holy moly. This is incredibly efficient for screws, which means it's going to be a good idea to take these guys out. I'm actually going to get rid of this. We're going to leave that splitter here just because there's no point in removing it, really. But what we need to do is we need to get here. We need to add a splitter. And we're going to add one of these bad boys. I think we're going to try to do it like right here. We should be able to make that work. All right. That should do the trick. Alrighty. Yeah, so this is going to have plenty of screw production. Because at the very least, we're doing 180, I think, right now. Let's go check just to make sure before I get too carried away, but I believe we're doing 180 here. Yeah, because we're 90. Oh, and I have power cells, so you can go ahead and pop this bad boy up one more. Because these conveyor belts can hold up to 120. Okay, so that gives us 135 times 2 is 270. So we're doing 270, and we're consuming, I think, 270, right? Because we're consuming 90, 150. So we're actually at 240. So we're plus 30 on the screw production, which is perfect because that'll help our efficiency here. Now we have 150, and I think we have this guy bumped up to, I want to say like 135, so it's not like perfect, but it's pretty decent. Oh, so we have this one at 180. That's perfect. So that one can provide for one of those super easily. All right, so now we have a couple screw buffers and things like that, and maybe we can pump that guy up and maximize it later. But that's the gist of what we have going on here. What I wanted to do is try to keep everything really linear. So that way we can always just branch off, and take, our reinforced iron plates. We could just branch everything off into these little conveyor belts. And then we can work on other ways of production. I may have to rearrange the screw production now that it can use iron ingots instead of rods, so that I can have like a iron rod section where we can craft things, and then I can have a dedicated screw section. And what we can do is we can build things up on top of each other as well. I did leave, obviously, lots of room for that because the sky. However, what we need to do next is I need to go provide more power because combination of having more power, it's always good. You never run out of energy to do what you need to. But I also kind of want to show you guys what I had to do in order to make all of this happen. And so I will see you guys once we get back to our coal area where we throw up them generators. All right, so we have the placement we need. We should be able to place these next generators as well. And I figured I would take you guys along for that journey because I think it only makes sense. Get it. We want to make sure this is lined up with this little savage here. We're going to scoot it back basically as far as we can, just to make sure we have enough wiggle room to be able to get these splitters in there, because we do have to have the splitters, otherwise it is all for naught. Alrighty. Perfect. And the nice thing about this is when you have it, like at least on PC, I don't know if if you guys use controllers or anything like that, or if you can, but if you're holding the control button, it actually gives you those green lines to let you know what you're in line with. And we just wanted to make sure that we're in line with those as well as these. Keep everything nice and even. Now, as far as this is concerned, oh boy, we're pretty much running out of space in our inventory. We may be able to get the rest of it. Who knows? I know there's a lot of stuff right here that we're not going to be able to get. All right. Well, actually, we were able to get pretty much all of it. Super, super cool. I think we were able to get all of it. We may have a couple sets of coal in here. And what we're going to do for that is we're actually going to go ahead and just throw as much of these into these coal generators as possible. I know they're not going to be fully utilized, but I forgive myself for that. Just going to kind of prime a couple of these guys here. Get in my inventory, baby. All right. Just going to prime everything on the left side here. All right. Now we're going to go ahead and get to these splitters. And this, for me personally, I found this to be the most efficient way to get power. I don't know if this is actually the most efficient way. I'm sure there's some crazy thing that'll say otherwise, but we're going to go ahead here. All right, once again, we just want to make sure it's all lined up. There we go. And if we line up on both of those lines, both the line with the other splitters as well as with the generators, we can start doing stuff like this. I think we'll have enough here. Should be good anyways. We're going to jump up on top because frankly it'll be easier. Alright. We're looking good. The only thing that I have an issue with so far with Satisfactory is I wish that if I started placing a conveyor belt from a different direction than what I intended to finish, I wish that when you connected them it would just automatically register. But that's such a niche little tiny thing that I don't think it's even worth worrying about. Now, in order to get these guys on the power line, what we need to do is have a power pole for each set. So we have 1, 2, it's going to be 3, 4, and 5. And they're actually going to go ahead and put 2 on the end cap down here. Not because I actually honestly need them, but because I just want to give that little extra bit of leeway. So we're going to connect this here, that one to this. We're just going to go down and connect them. Perfect. Now I'm going to have to go down this way just a smidge. Connect it to the farthest one. Connect you to the farthest one there. Should be here. I think we got this. What did I do wrong? I didn't do anything wrong. We're good. Because we needed to use 4 because we have 2 for each set of these guys. And then we actually have 2 for connecting it to the other power poles. I think we're about to the stage where we're going to start getting more stuff. Now, what do we got here? We got 1,000 mega whoppers right now. But I haven't connected this guy. I haven't taken it off standby. Boom. So now that should be feeding everything here. I don't think we have any coal on this last one. So now that we have that off of standby, what are we looking at here? Okay, so we do have all of these running right now, but we do have to wait for the buffer to really get all of these guys on the left side here. All right. Perfect. And once these things buffer, they're actually going to be able to be super, super efficient. Now, the only catch, like I said, is building up on these guys. We're going to have a really, really tall building, but I think it'll be fine. It'll be good. Either way, that's how this is going to work. And once we get everything, you know, up and running, we should be looking at 1,000 mega hoppers, which is absolutely insane. If we go back in here, we can show you. I mean, we are peaking at our highest at like 250, 260. And that's when everything is running all at the same time. So we're doing super well there. But now what I want to do is go back to the main base now that we have this set up. Oh, hello. We can actually go ahead and... Oh, the poisonberry bush. Makes me sad. We're going to go ahead and just throw all 100 of these in here. There we go. And now it'll start dispersing a little bit easier and better. All right. We do have to avoid all the poison bushes. But now that we have that set up, we still have this normal vein, which I think is what I'm going to go ahead and use to do like steel production. Because I think for steel, if I remember correctly, you had to combine coal and iron. So we'll figure that out later. But we're going to get back to the main base. We're going to start exploring what we need to do to get to the next automation. And then we're going to go ahead and do that one on camera as well. And we'll see you guys when we get there. Alrighty, so we're back to the base, and I wanted to automate the rotors. Now, this is where things are going to get a little bit kind of convoluted because first I need to find a place for them. And I was thinking we have the reinforced iron plates started here, which are actually going to be used for these guys right here. What are the modular frames? They're going to be used for the modular frames, but we can get away with just feeding exclusively iron ingots straight into a building that can then make both rods and screws. I wanted to get 2 assemblers to do the rotors. So what we're going to need is 3 rod constructors and 4 screw constructors to make sure we feed everything properly. Keep in mind this is without any type of power advancement at all. So what we're going to try to do here is we need to isolate this middle one. Like I said, as it has basically 0... let's get this on here. It has 0 utilization right now. So we need to figure out a good way to isolate that. I think what we're going to try to do here, let's go ahead and get that first and foremost. I'm going to put it up 1 taller. And then what we're going to do is we're going to bring it back down over here. And then what we're going to try to do is throw a splitter, I'm thinking roughly on this spot here. As that'll be a little bit taller than everything else. And just in order to check that, we're going to go ahead and take one of these conveyor belts and bring it all the way over. So we may have to start a little bit further back. Let's go ahead and try right now just to see what we need to do here. So we're going to get this guy and we're going to pop it right here. And I think in order to kind of help us keep everything nice and tidy, I'm going to throw this guy down. We're going to bring it 3 tall, right? I think this should do the trick. Now, if I did this right, we should start seeing some iron ingots popping out. Yeah, perfect, perfect, perfect. That's actually exactly what we're looking for. And we're going to start with, on the bottom, we're going to start by feeding in the... I think what we're going to try to do here is we don't need it to line up or anything, but what I would like to do is bring things a little bit further forward so that we have wiggle room if we want to throw something in the middle. So we may actually have to throw down some foundations, but what I want to do is 1, 2, 3, and then you can do a 4th. Ooh, we're going to have to expand this one out a little bit. Let's go ahead and do that real quick. But what I'm thinking is we can do the 4 screws right out the gate, right? All right. We're going to bring this one. I think just 1 forward should do the trick. We might want to do 2. Who knows? But for now, this is just to get this build taken care of. We'll do the 4 screws right out the gate. And then what we will do after that is we can, just above it, we'll actually have the conveyor belts loop around, I think is what we'll do. And then we will have the iron rods happen just above it, I think. Unless, you know, I have an idea. I actually have an idea that just may work. What if we did that? We took the 3 constructors we need here, right? Because we need iron to go in on said category. So what if we did the same thing we kind of did with those other sections? Perfect. Like we did with the coal miners, and we line it all up. Put a couple splitters here, and then we will take both. Yeah, I think this will work because we'll do splitters in the middle that'll feed everything iron ingots as needed. And then we will have all of these guys go up or into a merger. Then we'll have them go up, split off to the 2 separate units. And then we can actually go ahead and do the same thing over here and have 2 mergers. And we'll have 1 splitter or 1 merger up there. I don't know. We'll figure it out. Long story short, we will figure it out. So what I need to do here is we need to get a couple, we need to get some walls. Let's go ahead and do that real quick. All right. This is the trouble with the game. I almost got a little too carried away. So what I did was I went ahead and I love that clips through. It cracks me up. So what I did was I went ahead and brought that splitter over. I wanted to make sure that we had the right shapes, the right height and everything to make sure it would work and fit. And of course it did. And so now we have these guys running all over the place here. Now what we need to do is we need to merge everything together because what we're going to do, all right, once we get all this crafting, right, get in here, baby girl, is we're going to take this up so that we can feed it to the proper locale, which means we need to add the mergers over here as well. And so what I'm going to do is I'm probably going to do... What if I did a merger like such? Well, let's see. So you can only do 120 per each of these. Because we don't... Well, we don't have belts fast enough, so what's the difference, right? Like, I mean, if we don't have belts that are fast enough to do that, I don't see what the issue is of trying to build it like this. So we'll start here, and then when we get faster belts, we'll upgrade it, and that'll fix all of our issues. Alright, so we should have these guys going here, right? Actually, I have an idea. We should take a merger up, right? Where's the backside? We have the backside over here. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and do a merger, but how we're going to change it is we're only going to take 2 of these guys, and then we're going to feed each of the mergers up top. There we go. Yeah, that works. I like that idea, actually. Okay. Now let's go ahead and run up top so I can show you what we did there. But now that we have the mergers taken care of, we're going to have to work on the lifts to get them up there. Now let's get up here. Now these guys here, the rods, we are going to be... Oh, I forgot I had that down there. Hi, friends. Now the rods, we are going to be able to get that taken care of here. And what I want to do is... Probably... Because we need to feed it in on this side. We don't need this one here. Just so I can get vision, see where everything is. Okay. And we don't need this one here on the backside, once again, so I can get vision and see where things need to go. So we have the merger there. What if we went ahead... What if we brought that... Yeah, what if we brought that guy, like, let's say right here. What if we then did a Do I have Mark II lift down? Yeah, I must have it down already. What if we then did that, brought it up to here. Yeah. And then what we can do is we can put a splitter. And I'll try to put it on this side here. So we want it to come in here. Which means we're going to take this guy here. No. It has to go over to the next one. Oh, well. No. Get out of here. Get out of here. All right, so now it shouldn't be encroaching, right? Perfect. So now what we can do is we can take this guy, feed it there, can run this here, and I think what we're going to try to do is, because we're going to have to cross things over anyways, so feed it into this one. So that's the rod portion taken care of. Now what we need to do is figure out how we're going to do these, because they need to each be split off to another one. What we could try to do here... Let's try to do something a little bit creative. So here's what we're going to do is we're going to rotate this guy. We're going to take that merger. Let's rotate it out so that it is in fact pointing out this way. Connect there. Connect on the back side. And then what we could try to do here is... Start there. Take that Mark II lift, right? What if we got rid of this? Well, that was silly. That was silly of me. I was standing on it. What I'm thinking is we could take that lift up on that exact spot, provided we're not encroaching on the zone of the other conveyor, which we may have to remove in order to make that work. Yeah, so what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to take this out. We're going to have to move it over. So let's go ahead and pop this guy right here. And let's take that belt, throw it down on this side. And I'll worry about fixing it in a minute, because what I want to try to do is see if we can't set this up in such a way where we can bring it up here, make it look real nice. All right. What we might actually have to do is throw this guy down here. Now. Might be kind of a pain in the butt to get it to target this one. Hello. Hello! Target. Let's get rid of this guy for a minute. What if we did this? Okay. Oh, I guess we didn't need all that fanciness. All right. Fair enough. Now let's see if we can't make that guy go up, because then we can just add a single one. Whoa. Right up to the top, and then we can actually have the other one feed around from the front. Maybe go over top. Who knows? We'll figure it out. Now let's see if we can't make this guy happen. All right. So here's what we're going to have to do with this. So we're going to bring that up. We're going to bring it up right here. But we aren't going to be able to put this guy in there because it's going to encroach on the zone. So what we can do, and you don't have to do this, but it bothers me if I don't have said utensils or utilities or whatever you want to call them. Just throw that here. Throw that here. We can actually go ahead and throw the walkways up, I think. Ooh, we're out of iron rods. That's incredibly awkward because I don't think we can even craft the bench. Dang it. Well, we'll be back because I'm going to have to get some iron rods. Okay, so we did the things. They were done off camera because I have a really hard time focusing and getting things done, and I'm just not a big brain boy. Let's just put it that way, okay? So what we did was we ended up actually feeding the rods up to here, and we just have those splitting two ways, so those are split evenly. And what we did with these screws, because there's so many of them, we had two of them merge into one and go into this guy. Two of them merge into the second one and go over to this guy, which we had to go up and around because it was always, no matter what I did, it was encroaching on pretty much everybody's space. And it makes it look a little bit more industrial, so I guess there's the benefit of that. Everything is connected to the power, however, I do need to set up what I want them to craft. So we're going to go ahead and start from the top, because we know these are all set up properly, because it's pretty straightforward, pretty simple. We have those guys doing rotors, and what I want to do is have this side of 4. We're going to have these do the alternate screws. All right. Oh, yeah, I got to connect that other one. Alternate screws here. Once again, alternate screws. Alternate screws. We're going to have these guys do iron rods. I don't remember if there's any other iron rod things, but you know, we'll go with that. So we have all of those set up. We have all of these guys feeding into here, into the lifts, and taking care of that. Now what we need to do is, first and foremost, before I get carried away, connect those so that they're kind of moving, rolling, make sure we're in the right place. And we should be able to connect this down to there. Fingers crossed, everything should start up. Hey, we got green lights everywhere, except on the top, probably because they need materials. At least that's what I'm hoping. So what we're going to do is we're going to kind of set here. We got screws coming out, screws going up on that one, which is great. And it looks like we have iron rods going up on this one. So now we're going to go up top here and see what we have going on. Make sure we got this production taken care of. And then once we unlock, I know there's a paint gun. I think it's like a tier 1 thing, and I just have to study, I think flowers it was. But once we get that taken care of, we can actually start coloring each of these places. And so what I want to do here is I want to figure out if we can. This would be really cool if we could get this to work. No flip dipping way. Oh my gosh, that is so cool. Oh no! Dang, can we put it any closer to this way, or is that pretty much it? Oh my gosh, we can make it happen. Oh my gosh, team, we could do this. This is going to look so cool. So what we're going to try to do is, are we going to be able to do it like that though? Or are we going to have to, I think we're going to have to twist it. Okay. I know that it can be done now, which is incredible. Let's go here. Let me go up. We're actually going to face it out. Because what I'm thinking is we can... Let's try to see if we can't set up a merger. Now, that's going to be we're going to have to find a creative way to do that because these guys have to come out, right? No power. What did I not connect you to? Did we not connect? You derp train. Okay, now we have power. We have everything ready. Now I got to figure out how we're going to do the merger. And I'm thinking what we might try to do here is try to trick it a little bit. So we could throw this up here, right? Actually, let's make sure that it is centered on this. We're going to go up. No, that may not work as intended. Yeah. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to put a bunch of these on top of each other. Not the most efficient way of doing things, but you know what? It's going to look good when it's done. We're just going to jump up here so that we can get that merger taken care of. And we want the merger going directly off of this line. Right here. Now what if we did this? Because we need those. Dag nabbit, y'all. Dag flippin' flabbit. Okay, so we need to run this off of here. Now, what we're going to try to do is we need to make sure that this can get out here. Can we put this up? I think we can make that one work. What we're going to try to do is see if we can't do that and then get the lift to work off of this. Oh, come on, baby. Oh, yes. Now, can we have... Can we have that work as such now? Okay, so I should be able to take these off. Nice. I can take away the pole. I could probably take away this pole. Now, can we feed that? Oh my gosh, Dave! That looks incredible! Okay, so what we're going to do here is we're going to, just for now, just to finish this, put the finishing touches on it. I need rods. Give me the rods, good sir. It's taking you so long to get things. Do we not have enough? Well, these guys are getting plenty. Oh, that's right. I gotta wait for everything to kind of push through is the problem. Yeah, that's what we're running into. So everything has to saturate with these before they can really start to get moving. But we are slowly saturating this side. It should offset, right? Because we only do 15 per minute of each of these irons. Yeah, it's 15 there and 15 there. So we have to wait for everything to kind of saturate, which is the only really downside of a bus, I guess, is you just have to give it some time before it actually starts working here. So 15, 30, 60, 90, and then we need... Okay, so that should be 105, which we should have 120 right now. So it's going to fill up really slowly. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go up here. Okay, I can't do that. We're going to grab the iron rods from these dibbles. So I may throw these guys on. Oh, I'm just going to take that. There we go. Perfect. All right, so now what we can do is get a storage container, but I want it to line up as close to that as... What? Ah, with the plates, dude! I'll be back. All right, so this has been an incredibly convoluted episode. However, we are about to put the finishing touches on this thing. I'm going to throw that here. I cannot believe this works. That looks incredible. And we're going to have these rotors being thrown into here. And it seems like they craft at a pretty reasonable level. I mean, obviously we had a bunch of stockpile here. We'll see, because they should start to stagger here in a minute, because I thought they were only like 6 per minute. Yeah, so they're not like an incredibly quick one. But That's pretty decent. We already got 37 of them, but they're automated, so I don't have to continue crafting them myself, which is incredible. And we still got to wait for these guys to kind of saturate here. But we got it done, team. We did it. And what we're going to do is I'm going to surround this. I think we're going to leave that exposed, but we're going to put walls up around this whole thing. We might come out to here, put a window in this portion. Who knows? But we'll figure that out when the time comes, and we'll color this so that we know this is the rotor production area. However, we got some cool things taken care of. We gave you guys a tour of what we have so far and how we're going to be able to continue to progress in a pretty smooth fashion because of this giant bus we have going on here. And, well, that's going to do it for today's episode. Thank you guys so much for joining me in today's episode of Satisfactory. I know, like I said, it was really convoluted. I kept running out of things, having to run back and forth and jump cutting. It may even be a little bit of a long episode, but I just think it's really cool to bring you guys along for the journey of my thought process and how we're going to continue to make this factory just thrive and be a beautiful, bustling factory. So without further ado, remember, liking, commenting, subscribe. Great tools for you to get in touch with me. Let me know what you liked, didn't like, what you want to see next. If you have any tricks or tips, put those in the comment section down below, because I always appreciate that. If you want to fiscally support this channel and the content I create, there is a donate button which is tied to my live stream. And if I do happen to be recording with OBS, even if it's not live, any notifications while I'm doing that will pop up in the video. It'd be a really cool way to just acknowledge you guys even when we're not live streaming. But without further ado, I'm going to shut my filthy little K-hole. Love you guys, and we'll see you next time. Toodles!